Hello, folks. It's been a sad week in America. And I'm not telling you something you don't already know, but last week, right after I finished recording and uploaded my video and scheduled its release, I went into the living room, watched TV, and learned of Charlie Kirk's assassination. And I've kind of been at a loss for words ever since. But I don't want to minimize it. I know, but I, I, I think I think Turning Point is going to be much way stronger than it ever was. And you try to make sense of these things, and you just want to throw your hands up in the air and say there's no possible explanation. But then I got to thinking even deeper, and I thought, you know, God's not surprised. He knows everything, and maybe He saw our country and this world going off the rails, and I don't want to say God did it or anything, but you got to admit, this country, if it's ever going to be saved, it's right now. After the motivation of Charlie Kirk's assassination. I mean, let's face it, everybody in the world is mourning Charlie Kirk's death, other than the few lunatics that are admittably mentally ill or criminal, or and that pretty much covered it, I guess. You would have to be either evil, mentally ill, or a criminal deranged mind. So, God, everybody's always talking, let's stop the rhetoric and let's talk things out. Well, you killed the guy that wanted to do that. How can you? I mean, it's trying to make sense of it. It's been a week, and I don't know. It's really hard to make sense of anything nowadays, but anyway. How do you think, what do you think the people felt when Jesus got killed? Crucified, beat nearly to death, and then hung from a cross, driving nails through his hands and his feet. Can you imagine witnessing that? When I watched The Passion of the Christ, I cried like a baby. And then when I got angry, I said, why didn't somebody hurry up and invent a gun and kill these guys? But we all know anger and retribution is never the answer. Unless they keep up if the other side keeps trying to kill us, we will have no choice. But let's just hope let's hope we can make some sense of this on down the line. I mean, look at Erica. She is so strong to be able to give a speech after that, and saying Turning Point won't do anything but get stronger, and we'll never forget Charlie's name. I'll make sure of it. And she's a very brave woman. Who knows? She may go on to take control of Turning Point. God bless her, she does. I know one thing: the fact that there was 2,500 chapters in high schools and colleges before his untimely death, and they've had, I think, 28,000 applications ever since. And I'm sure that number's just going to keep on growing, But so, and thank God Trump's in office instead of some ding dong. I mean, I wrote Trump a letter this last Saturday, begging him. I said, if anybody can come up with a solution to our problems, it's you. Put your team together and figure this out, because if you don't get a control on this, we're going to either have extreme vigilantism or worse yet, a second modern day civil war. And that would be horrible, and we all know it. And you better come up with a solution real quick, because tempers are just going to boil, and, you know, if they keep on doing this nonsense, sooner or later we're going to pop. I mean, how much can you take? Somebody, I don't want to talk. I'm trying not to talk negative and trying not to get angry, but I've been sad enough. I've had enough sad in my life over the last, well, going back 9 years now. You know, I'm so tired of being sad. And, you know, when Rush Limbaugh died, I said, ain't nobody going to fill his shoes. And there hasn't been, you know, nobody has. And the same thing, I'm afraid, is going to go with Charlie. Who can do that? I mean, he was so sharp and quick and articulate. I mean, he didn't sit there and he just popped the answer right back. And I remember when one guy stood up, pink hair, nose ring, and everything, said, "I understand you're anti-trans," and Charlie shot right back, "No, I'm pro-reality." Bam. Who is that knowledgeable, that quick, and that articulate? Please step forward. Because, man, Charlie was doing so much good. Only an idiot would say he was a racist and deserved what he got. I mean, and unfortunately, there's no shortage of idiots in this country, in this world. I'm afraid Satan's, I don't even want to think it. But you can't tell me the world is not getting more evil, because it is. I mean, right before Charlie, there was that black dude that just stood up and stabbed that poor Ukrainian girl in the neck for no reason. He didn't even know who she was. He didn't know anything about her. He just wanted to kill her, and he did. Mentally ill, been arrested 14 times, and these mentally ill judges keep letting these people out. Boy, we got to put a stop to this somehow. But I'm sorry. I know it's supposed to be a Christian message, and I'm not. I need to try to think more like Charlie and less like Homer. But, you know, sometimes it's tough. And I know everybody's mourning right along with me. It's not, you know, it's a worldwide thing. They're having vigils in South Korea and London and all over the globe. That man had such an impact on this world, and I hope it just continues. And I hope to God somebody can figure out how to turn this world around, but at least our country, because next year is the 250th anniversary, and I sure would like to celebrate a Mayberry type atmosphere rather than a Chicago type atmosphere. So I've been praying that for a long time, way before Charlie's assassination. I've been praying that for, God Almighty, a long time. Lord, please somehow wake these people up and have them turn back to Jesus and just quit hating each other and quit all the divisiveness. Easy for you to say. Everybody keep praying that. Think about Charlie and think about America hopefully becoming a better place. And I'm sorry this had to be a sad one, but I just can't work around that. Hopefully it'll be better next week. Thanks a lot, folks. Please share, like, and subscribe. And I'll see you next week.